Hi, Scott to the rescue again.
How you doing?
Good. Actually, I'm a little nervous.
Oh, yeah. Surgery. Is that what you want to do?
Yeah, I'm not sure yet.
Hey, you know, I haven't talked to you since you got back from San Francisco.
Yeah, I know. I gotta go. This guy really means business, so I'll give you a call.
You better.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Knock 'em dead.
Mr. Baldwin, may I speak to you for a minute?
Listen, don't be too hard on Eve. It was not her fault.
No, this is not about Eve. I need your help. I'm looking for legal representation.
Oh, well, you're looking in the wrong place. I'm not practicing right now.
Your father told me I need a good lawyer.
Well, maybe you do. I'm just...
Look, I watched what you did for Joe Scanlon at his hearing. I mean, you walked into that room and you turned the place upside down.
Well,
I'd like you to do the same thing for me.
Well, that was unofficial. It was just a favor.
I need a favor. Look, I don't use this word very often. Please. So Greg Cooper's attorney has filed a malpractice suit against the hospital, naming me. Now he's offering to make a settlement out of court, but only if there's some kind of admission of responsibility from me.
Admission of responsibility? What is that supposed to mean?
It's not a legal term?
No, it's not.
What do you think I should do?
Well, first of all, don't admit to anything. Okay? I need to get Cooper's lawyer's game plan and how the hospital has responded to it. Do you have a transcript of the meetings that went on with the hospital lawyers?
I didn't even know such a thing exists.
Well, my father's counsel for the hospital, and if he's had any conversations with the opposing lawyers in a malpractice suit, you can bet your tongue depressor that there's a transcript of it. Fortunately, the hospital's not legally bound to show it to you.
Somewhere in this hospital is a transcript of meetings that concerned me, and I don't have a legal right to see it?
Well, this is not a court of law. There's no disclosure.
Isn't there a way for me to get my hands on it?
Well, we can subpoena the files, but that may take some time. Let me ask you something. Do you have any friends here in high places?
None.
Well, okay. Well, I'll make some calls, and I'll see what I can do. In the meantime, just try and get your hands on the transcripts, okay?
How am I supposed to do that?
Use your imagination.
Mr. Baldwin, I suppose this means you're taking the case.
Looks that way.
Shouldn't we discuss your fee?
Oh, what's the point? You couldn't afford me. Someday, maybe I'll ask you for a favor. See ya.
Did you see that poor kid's leg?
Oh, yeah, I've never seen edema like that. He's retaining a lot of fluid. His output's way down.
Okay, well, I would get a renal ultrasound.
Well, why waste precious time? It's obvious he's rejecting the kidney. Better to get him started on ATG right away.
Yeah, but is it wise to start medication without a biopsy first?
Let's stop and take a look at the symptoms. And the patient is suffering from dizziness, fever, fluid retention, and acute pain near the transplant site. So, Dr. Morris, your colleagues have concluded that the patient is rejecting his newly transplanted kidney. Do you agree?
Yes.
Anyone else?
Wait, it's not necessarily a rejection.
I'm listening.
I'd order a CBC and watch for elevated levels of the white blood cell and band counts. I'd also get a Chem 10 and look for high levels of BUN and creatinine.
And your diagnosis, Dr. Morris?
Post-operative infection, or so it seems at this point anyway.
Anything else?
Yes, I'd also get a basic urine analysis. That could tell us a lot.
I'm inclined to agree with Dr. Morris's diagnosis. I would check for infection before assuming the organ is being rejected. Not bad.
Curses. Foiled again.
What, are you going to start twirling your mustache now? I mean, actually, you look pretty good with those sideburns you got working.
Oh. Thank you.
Congratulations.
For surviving my first hangover, barely.
No, for making a good impression on the senior surgical resident in spite of it.
Why the compliments?
Julie, I was in awe. A newbie martini drinker, surfing on a hangover, and you still managed to come up with the proper diagnosis.
Wait till I'm back in form once this wears off. It will wear off, won't it?
Eventually.
I, didn't do anything embarrassing, did I?
Before or after we stopped for tattoos. I'm just kidding. You were fine, considering how wrecked you were on a combination of Scanlon and gin. Either one goes down too smooth sometimes.
Frank! Hi.
Hey, what Baldwin say?
There's not much to say until he reads a transcript of the meetings Cooper's lawyers had with the hospital.
How do you get those?
Short of a subpoena, which will waste time I can't afford to spend. A friend in a very high place.
A friend? You're worse off than I thought.
Yeah, look, I need to consult with a lawyer about an immigration issue. Don't you put me on hold again. Look, this is an emergency. I can't, I'm at work. And well, it's not about me. It's about my parents. And well, what about someone else? Is there another lawyer who... Look, I'll give you my beeper number.
How's Danielle working out?
Well, so far so good. She is a quick learner.
That's to be expected. She was an actress.
But she has one of these goofy little sort of flight attendant smiles pasted on her face. You know, the ones that they're trying to convince you it's just turbulence when your whole plane is plunging down to the bottom of the earth. I know that smile because I sort of perfected it when those monsters took Serena.
She may be one of those monsters.
No, I don't want to believe that, Doc. I think she's just terrified of something.
And it's only a matter of time before we find out why and of whom.
But I gave her this job just to try and take her mind off whatever was bothering her. I hate this spine.
You're not spying. You're just being your warm, intuitive, inquisitive self.
I'm being a Snoopy self.
It's your word, not mine.
I just know with 100% clarity that this sadness is not a broken heart. This has Rex Stanton written all over it.
How are you?
I'm just pooped from pretending. Are you really going to leave right now?
I have to go see Victor.
Oh, right. Okay.
All right, I'll come and pick you up after.
Good. Good luck.
Thanks.
Okay, wait. If I have to snoop, you have to snoop. Why don't you sort of maybe accidentally on purpose run into Jake while you're there?
Don't worry. We'll find out what these people are up to soon enough.
Okay. Making yourself at home already, I see. Okay, big rule number 1, no going through my desk. Thank you.
Didn't mean to.
You didn't? Oh, I see. So these little keys just popped up and landed in your little hand.
Well, I was looking for supplies.
Here's a tip. Supplies, we keep them in the supply cabinet.
I didn't know where that was, and I didn't want to interrupt you and Kevin.
I see. Well, I'd be very interested to know what you found.
I didn't find anything. I mean, I wasn't looking.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'd be very curious to see.
Well, it was nothing.
Look, Danielle, I trusted you. That's why I gave you this job. Please don't make me regret it.
Scanlon, we were just talking about you.
Right. Well, some people do say I'm an acquired taste.
After an initial attempt at rejection, both patients are doing fine.
You two guys patched things up. That's great.
That almost sounded genuine. And I almost care.
I'll see you out on the floor.
Nurse Goddard, 212 East. Nurse Linda Goddard, 212 East.
That guy.
You look great.
Oh, you think?
Who's the lucky lady?
Sister Mary Claire, my principal. It's orientation night at St. Ed's.
And this is your English teacher disguise? I'd study.
Followed by what I'm afraid will be the final playoff game for my summer baseball kid, so I've only got a second.
Come to check up on your patient?
Your prescription, the Scanlon secret hangover cure.
I doubt it'll work.
Oh, I've done extensive research. It'll work. Drink.
Ingredients?
Well, I could tell you, but then I'd have to kill you.
If this concoction doesn't do it first, I popped a couple of aspirin before I went to sleep.
Oh, any rookie knows that that doesn't work unless you replenish your vitamins and your minerals first. What's this? Julie Devlin, is it chicken? So?
Delicious. Bless you.
You'll be as good as new before you know it. Not that last night did any lasting damage to your brain cells.
What are these?
Well, those are to replenish your sugars. Look, I've got to go.
Wait, I wanted to say something about this morning.
Dr. Quartermain appointed you to this job. I mean, he's not about to bail out on you. And if anybody can get those transcripts...
I'll make an appointment.
Well, how about just marching up to his office and demanding to see them? It's your career.
I won't jeopardize things by giving an ultimatum to the chief of staff.
How about calling in your markers? Does anybody owe you?
Neither a lender nor a borrower be.
It's tough getting used to asking for help, especially when you need it most.
Ah, Ellen. Matt.
Mrs. Hardy.
Ellen, I keep reminding you to call me Audrey. I've been looking for you.
You have? Why?
Well, I just ran into Lee Baldwin, and he filled me in.
Yeah, I guess everyone's going to know soon.
Oh, Ellen, after everything that you've done for this hospital and everything Greg Cooper has done against it, the situation is not only horrible, it's patently wrong.
Thank you. But...
Now, will you just tell me, how can I help?
Dr. Marcia.
Dr. Collins.
Hi. I wasn't aware you were already on a psych rotation.
Today's our first day of surgery.
Really? And you took the time to read my father's chart. Why is that?
Remember the day that we spoke, the day you were waiting to see your father?
Sure, you told me about meeting Danielle.
Right. Well, I took an interest in your father's case after that.
Why's that?
I wanted to help somehow. I mean, I know you've been through a lot lately with your father and losing the baby.
Exactly how have you been helping?
Well, nothing intrusive, I hope. Been checking in on him, trying to communicate, reading his charts. I probably should have asked you first.
Well, then, what do you make of his case?
Are you familiar with the case of George III?
The Mad King? Oh, yes.
Well, studies show that his so-called madness may have actually been the result of porphyria. It's a genetic disease...
Typified by an enzyme deficiency. Go on.
If I may. According to this, the latest diagnosis is of chemical imbalance.
So you're making a case for one of the porphyrias?
Have you considered it?
Yes.
I figured, and I don't think it should be ruled out. I've checked in on him a few times, and he's showing some of the symptoms.
Such as?
Confusion, possible hallucinations, nausea. Look, I know this like the back of my hand. We have to run some tests, though.